President Bongbong Marcos, kasi itong 2 taon niya, ang dami po niyang inaayos na pagkukulang nung nakaraang administrasyon.
Ilang taon po ba sa panunungkulan ang pamilya Duterte sa Davao City? Kung hindi pa ako nagkakamali, 33 years. At ang alam ko po, ang Davao City, isa sa may pinakamalaking IRA or the Internal Revenue Allotment or ngayon po yung tinatawag na National Tax Allotment. Doon pa lang po sa budget na yon, pwede po nila pondohan yung flood control project. At bakit mo isisisi sa kasalukuyang administrasyon? Ang pondo po ng distrito ni Congressman Pulong Duterte last Congress ay umabot po ng 51 billion. Ngayon ang tanong, saan po ba napunta doon?
First of all, unang-una, meron tayong local government code, no? Alam naman ho natin to. All the services have been devolved to the LGUs. In fact, meron nga tayong Mandanas ruling that says na social services, even infrastructure services are already devolved to the LGU. So in favor of the LVU, lahat-lahat nung pagdating sa as compare, no, sa national government's supervision, it's really the LGU. Ang akin is before we even reach the point of blaming the national government, the central government, we should look at the first liner of defense, no, yung first responders, and the first responders in this case is the LGU concerned. Bago ho tayo humanap ng suporta or assistance or the lack of thereof, no, for that matter, dapat ho tingnan natin kung ano yung nagiging responde ng LGU. Mukhang kilala naman ho natin kung sino po yung LGU ng naturang lugar, no. So para po sa akin, ang una po natin tatanungin is yung sino po yung otoridad doon sa lugar na yon. Ang Philippines is composed of so many cities and barangays. Papasok po ang NDRMMC, papasok po ang Office of the President. Pag kinukulangan po talaga, pag sobra po yung problema na kinakaharap. But if it's a question of baha or nakita naman ho natin sa recent na nangyari na nagkarbaha sa mga lugar dito sa NCR. Nakita natin yung mga mayors nila na sa mga rubber boats, pinupuntahan yung mga barangay. So we hope to replicate that and we hope to see that in other areas because that's exactly what the LGU should do. They should respond first. Before they blame it to somebody else, they should at least display their wits and their grits, no, in responding to calamities such as what happened in Davao City.
Saka nung bumabagyo saka bumabaha, nandun tayo. Oo. Nandun po tayo sa mga LGU, nandun po tayo sa mga lugar natin. At wala rin naman po tayong sinisi. Ang ginawa po natin, humingi po tayo ng tulong, humingi po tayo ng yung mga agencies na kailangan pong kausapin. And I would like to commend the President Bongbong Marcos, kasi itong 2 taon niya, ang dami po niyang inaayos na pagkukulang nung nakaraang administrasyon. So, at least unti-unti, at least may mga constraints sa pondo, pero solusyon pa rin solution-based. Hindi puro reklamo, hindi puro problema yung nakikita, naghahanap talaga ng solusyon. Thank you.
Yung issue ho kasi doon sa flood control project doon sa Davao. Parang hindi naman po yata tama na sisihin mo yung national government sa pagbaha doon sa Davao City. Bakit? Tignan ho natin. Magkakaroon lang po tayo ng brief history. Ilang taon po ba sa panunungkulan ang pamilya Duterte sa Davao City? Kung hindi pa ako nagkakamali, 33 years. At ang alam ko po, ang Davao City, isa sa may pinakamalaking IRA or the Internal Revenue Allotment or ngayon po yung tinatawag na National Tax Allotment. Doon pa lang po sa budget na yon, pwede po nila pondohan yung flood control project. At bakit mo isisisi sa kasalukuyang administrasyon? Ito po, lumabas na po ito January of this year. galing po mismo kay Yusek Katrina Cabral ng DPWH. Ang pondo po ng distrito ni Congressman Pulong Duterte last Congress ay umabot po ng 51 billion. Ngayon ang tanong, saan po ba napunta doon? Parte po ba noon ay napunta sa flood control project? Yun naman po yung tanong ko sa kanila. 51 billion, imagine, with that huge amount of public funds, bakit hindi po na-address yung baha sa Davao? So, nasaan po? Anong proyekto ang napapuntahan po ng sinabing napakalaking pera or pondo ng bayan? So, I guess, bago po tayo magturo, dapat tinignan man lang muna nila, no? Kung ano ang kanilang ginawa para ma-address at ma-resolbahan ang issue pong ito.
Okay, last na lang po from my end. Meron pong social media post recently si former presidential spokesperson Harry Roque, and I would like to read his post, and I quote, "My crystal ball tells me that they have decided to move against VP Sara and may soon impeach her. They are in for the wrath of the people. Good luck." Meron po ba kayong naririnig na nagpaplano ng impeachment? Have you heard of any impeachment thing or issue dito po sa House of Representatives, since dito naman po talaga manggagaling ang impeachment? Or would you like to comment on former spokes Roque's social media post? Thank you po.
Thank you. Ako kasi dalawa yung crystal balls ko. Crystal balls yung akin. Dalawa. Pero parang wala naman po akong nakikita na ganon. Tinignan ko yung left, tinignan ko yung right. Parang wala naman po. We're sticking to the facts. Of course, we're sticking to the issues in the House of Representatives. At wala naman pong ganyan na napag-uusapan. So, baka kailangan medyo madumi yung crystal ball, kailangan na linisan ng konti. Thank you.
Buti pa yung balls mo, crystal. Anyway, so I will echo the statements of Congressman Paulo Ortega na wala naman po kaming naririnig, but it would not be a surprise if somebody would file an impeachment case against the Vice President. So, hindi naman po katakataka at hindi na po tayo mabibigla kung may mga ibang grupo or ibang individual na gustong pananagutin ang ating pong Vice Presidente through e-filing of an impeachment case. But sa ngayon po, sinasabi ko, wala po akong naririnig dito sa Kongreso or saan man na bali-balita na mag-file ng impeachment case laban po kay Vice Presidente. So, sa ngayon, mananatili pong chismis ang kanyang pong post.
Alam niyo po, kailangan po natin is i-identify kung ano yung tunay na balita at ano yung marites. Palagay ko masyado na po tayong nag-re-rely sa mga chismis, no? Hindi ko lang alam kung ano yung intention really. Maybe to preempt whatever is the result of this investigation, to somehow divert the attention, make this issue political, which is not really, if you look at it, it's not really political. They're trying to make it as a politically motivated. Remember when sinabi namin po kanina, yung investigation na ito ay hindi po political because this investigation have separate investigations by this committee. It's brought about by ongoing investigation, no, by our agencies, no, concerned. Number two, when you discuss about WPS, there's nothing political about it. It's in fact as a call of statesmanship and patriotism. There's nothing political about it. So the other group may be seen that they don't have any other ammunition to save themselves. That's why they're trying to divert this and make this as a politically motivated. So there's nothing political about the investigation. They're trying to presume and maybe to dictate and lay down the premise na maniwala na ito ay political, no. So tama yung sinabi po namin kanina, We don't respond to issue mongering, baseless na mga accusations or baseless na wala naman talagang basihan dahil hindi ho na pag-uusapan. At kung ako po, ito po mga kasama namin, wala po talaga sa ngayon, no? And we don't see this would lead into that as of now, personally. Dahil yung parati po namin sinasabi, this is beyond politics. This is for the public service. This is really about strengthening our security sector and maintaining peace and order in our streets, and as well as protecting the sovereignty and the territorial integrity of the country. So, wala pong politika dito. At sana po, umiwas na lang po tayo sa mga marites at mga chismis at doon ho tayo mag-focus kung ano yung makakabuti sa ating bansa. And we're calling them to join us in our call to really make this country progressive and safer.
Thank you, pa.
Have you finished your questions, Haji? Okay, thank you. Big Sumintak from Net25.
Good morning po. Siguro just follow-up na lang regarding pa rin kay Vice President Sara. So aside from the issue of West Philippine Sea, yung naharap na investigasyon ng Quadcom, sir, may we know your reaction doon sa, it seems na buhat nung umalis si Vice President Sara Duterte sa administrasyon as Education Secretary, sa mga pronouncement niya, pati governance matter, pinupunan niya. So, ano po ang reaction po ninyo?
Quick reaction lang po siguro dun sa mga pronouncements. Well, she's the second highest official of the land, then dapat naglalabas na rin po siya ng solution sa mga nakikita niyang problema. Kasi if you're gonna be critical, if you're gonna be a critic of the government, then being the vice president, kailangan may ma-offer ka na solution, may ma-offer ka rin na counter na plano, at saka syempre, may ma-offer ka na serbisyo beside sa official na function mo. Salamat.
Yeah, I re-echo the position of Congressman Paulo na mas maganda na constructive yung criticism. Lahat naman tayo, we are working in the same government, working for the same constituency, ang mga Pilipino. So ultimately, whatever we propose, whatever we think are not good for the country, the benefit and the advantage and the disadvantage, if there are some, would definitely be felt by the public, by the people. That's actually the responsibility of public officials. So personally, I would tell you, I would wanted sana that the Vice President maintains and keeps her position within the government as part of the government. Unfortunately, yun nga hindi nangyari. So she's entitled naman she's entitled to have her own opinion. She can be a critic of this administration, although I haven't heard from the Office of the Vice President whether she is positioning herself to be an opposition at this point in time, because we have yet to hear from her. So since she has not released yet an official position that she is now joining the opposition, we hope that any critic or any yung mga statements niya na sa palagay niya ay mali sa gobyerno, since hindi naman ho siya opposition, tama yung sinabi ni Paulo, Kong Paulo, na dapat mag-provide siya and offer siya ng mga other possible solutions. So alternative ways para maibsan or mapaganda pa ang serbisyo ng administration na to. So yun din ho ang position ko. Since na hindi ho talaga siya, no? May narinig ba kayo nag-opposition na siya? Hindi pa, no? So we hope that she can provide us with with alternative solution if she has one.
Well, it's not a surprise, no? With the statements of the Vice President. Probably she's trying to be the new face of the opposition, but we really need to hear from her, no? And, you know, it's easy to criticize the government with respect to its policies, programs, the government or the administration that she is a part, especially when she was the Secretary of the Department of Education. Pero bakit may narinig pa po tayong solusyon na kanya pong ginawa patungkol sa mababang ranking ng ating pong mga estudyante based on the latest PISA ranking? Bottom 4 po ang ating bansa. So when she was the secretary, ano po yung ginawa niya? So bakit ngayon lang po siya lumalabas at nagpapahayag ng mga pagkontra sa mga polisiya at programa at sinasabing maraming problema ang ating bansa? So I guess babalik din po sa kanya ang kanya pong mga sinasabi laban po sa administrasyon.